The Google Pixel Watch is here, and the big question is, does it live up to the high expectations and standards we are all hoping for? One way to find out, let's inspect. It's been a few years of waiting to finally get this. Yes, the Google Pixel Watch is here, and it's supposed to give Android users the same kind of user experience as Apple Watch series are giving to the iPhone users. But it's been a rather rough start, therefore plenty of questions we need to respond to, and of course our thorough analysis, which is going to expose all the strengths, but also all the weaknesses. Therefore, sit back, relax, and enjoy this review. Google Pixel Watch comes at a time when we have so many good and decent smartwatches and fitness trackers. However, at this very moment we're still lacking a proper leader of the world of Wear OS-based smartwatches. Let me be very clear from the start, just as Apple Watch can only work with iPhones, Google Pixel Watch can only work with Android smartphones. The closest competitors are therefore the Galaxy Watch series, but also TicWatch and Fossil-made models that are running the same operating system. If we look at the pack, definitely appealing, great feeling about the unboxing. In fact, although the shape of both devices is quite different and the packaging concept is different as well, the materials and the overall feeling that you're going to get out of the unboxing is comparable to how Apple Watch series feel. Here are some papers and instructions from Google. As usual, great job by explaining everything in such a simple way. Here's the watch. At the first sight, it looks like a piece of art. A different take on the strap, which looks to be halfway inspired by Apple Watch series. Again, rotating crown, which also acts as a button, and one more button to press right next to it. Two sizes of the strap, and yet another similarity to the way Apple and Fitbit are shipping their wearables. On top, Google are opting for this quite interesting strap mount mechanism, which is in my opinion a lot more durable than the usual concept with lugs, and also nests significantly less dirt between the watch back and the straps. In terms of hygiene and bacteria involved, this is very positive. A round display, curved glass. The most health tracking sensors are at the backside, and it has this glossy smooth texture like another well-known brand. Under the hood, there are quite many interesting specs, including a 1.2-inch display with 450 by 450 pixel resolution and brightness up to 1000 nits, Gorilla Glass 5, which is protecting it, the Exynos 9110 chipset with 2GB of RAM, there's 32GB available storage, GPS, all the popular connectivity protocols including Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, NFC and so on, ATM5 water resistant, and have an inbuilt battery with capacity of 294 mAh. Design-wise, I think it's among the best looking smartwatches ever designed, especially those with rounded shape, because obviously that's the philosophy that Google Pixel smartwatch right now has. In terms of build, it's very nice how you can't really notice the bezels and the curved glass, which also looks superb, the rotating crown and the overall build quality, which gives you superb feeling around the wrist. The area of the sensors also looks good, so if I had to bet, yes, probably the build quality here is pretty solid. Very interesting take on the strap, and it's connected to the watch in a way that it probably is going to collect less grease from your skin, and that's quite a big advantage because many watches have this problem that a lot of dirt stays between the lugs and the strap itself. Apple have a very good solution to this, and I guess Google are trying to switch and convert for most Android-oriented devices. In terms of hardware, internally, there's really a lot in common with the Samsung Galaxy Watch series because a display by Samsung, a chipset by Samsung, the storage by Samsung. In the next part of the video, we're going to explore the configuration options, the overall performance. We're going to see the software ecosystem, where I also have the feeling that Google have made a turn towards Samsung. But first, I want to show you more details about the user interface. This first-time use tutorial is more than enough to get you started. Swipe down for the quick settings, swipe right to go back. If you swipe while the watch face is being shown, you're going to see the main tiles, which are meant to show you information about various health or productivity items. Then the buttons, with the crown also being used as a button, and it can be the app launcher or the home button. Then we have the top one, which is used to call the recently launched items. And there also is the possibility to configure double press actions. Although this is similar to many other smartwatches, I still fail to utilize the buttons the best possible way. The top button somehow remains hard to access, and you will usually tend to use the crown most of the time. What really is not according to my taste are the similarities to the Apple Watch ideas. Even though there's so much Samsung made with the Pixel Watch, I feel that most of the inspiration in terms of software comes namely from the Apple wearables because, look, the way we configured the watch faces, somehow Google decided to use the same kind of term complications in order to do the customization and fine-tuning. Thank God they have not opted for this messy-looking app alignment based on icons only, because scrolling through the app list on the Pixel Watch is a pleasure. Overall, for all of these weeks of usage, I haven't noticed a moment where the watch feels slow or incapable. Quite the opposite, snappy and smooth all the time. Adding new apps is now extremely easy because Google have added an option in the smartphone app, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the first time we see this with a Wear OS-based device. Before diving into more features, a big shout out for this video's sponsor. We talk about the Pixel Watch, and here's your Pixel keyboard. Yeah, Melgeek's Pixel keyboard is the first one compatible with these so popular bricks. If you're LEGO fans, this definitely is worth checking because it is one of a kind. Lovely feeling buttons, customizable design and a way to relieve the stress by focusing on something I bet each and every one of us likes. If you want to go unique about PC peripherals, this is your way. Check out the Pixel Keyboard by Melgeek. More information and link to the product are available in the video description area. Another interesting feature is the LTE capability. In order to use it, you have to have a subscription to a supported carrier. Looks like in the United States and a few other countries, most of them are compliant, but here in Bulgaria, currently none of the operators have been granted this feature, and I keep on wondering why Google make the eSIM integration so challenging. Apparently, right now I'm unable to share with you information about the stability of LTE, the download speeds and the battery life, but without it, the watch can last around a day per charge if you're lucky. This is yet another area where Google seems to compete with Apple, like getting the prize for being the smartwatch with the worst battery life. Sounds bad, and it is. No matter what I was doing, there was no notable increase with the battery endurance, not even without always on display and with the wrist gesture even disabled. It's such a pity that the most anticipated smartwatch this year fails to solve this big issue even by running the latest Wear OS 3.5. In terms of available apps, you're gonna find most typical from the operating system software pieces, health tracking apps which are present, but even 1 month after the launch, many of the functions are inaccessible. Looks like my country is not among these 28 where ECG is supported. Also, while SpO2 sensor is included on a hardware level, the feature is not yet available as part of the software. It's a disgrace that Google don't even say a word when to expect this. The remaining apps are mostly about productivity, and you can further enhance by downloading whatever you need or want from the Play Store. I'd definitely go for Spotify for music, Facer for watch faces, and maybe something to be used as a gallery app. Speaking of Spotify and music playback, this is yet another area where Google go the Apple way. You can only listen to the watch speaker if YouTube Music runs, and apps like Spotify have only access to playback via connected Bluetooth headphones. Generally, there is no easy way to upload files to the local storage, kind of a bummer given the easy way Samsung have this implemented in their app. In terms of sports, looks like Google are focusing this time on Fitbit's training ecosystem as opposed to their own Google Fit. There are more than a few tracked workouts, and we'll see the details in just a moment. GPS is available for these tracked outdoors, and there only are positive things to share about the GPS implementation and the signal strength. Well, just remember that it drains the battery. Let me introduce you now to the needed smartphone apps. On one side, you need Google Pixel Watch. To me, it's a confession that there's something not right with the Wear OS app that Google make the other vendors like TicWatch and Fossil use. It looks similar, but has some more functions, and the scope of controlling the watch is much broader than what we get through the regular Wear OS smartphone app. For the health tracking details, there's a second app needed, Fitbit. Yes, you need two different apps in order to please the Google Pixel Watch, and on top, the latter one requires you to pay for the premium subscription in order all the functions to be accessible. Technically, together with the watch, you get 3 months of YouTube Music subscription for free and 6 months of Fitbit Premium, but I would expect to receive full access to the health tracking features when paying $400 for the watch alone. Other than that, sure, there's a lot of data visible. Heart rate information, exceptionally accurate sleep tracking. Kudos to the Google team for tuning it that well. Detected each and every time I was awake at night when I was actually quite sick and with a fever. You can see really a lot of details about the workouts, your body health analysis and some trends to be expected based on your daily habits and your way of living. I already explained the absence of ECG and SpO2 samples over here, so let's hope that they will reach all the Google customers sooner rather than later. Because, correct me if my logic is wrong, but if I were you, I won't be happy to be charged premium for features that might or not work in the future or in just certain regions. To put together the list with the drawbacks, most of the bad things you've seen online are unfortunately true. Like the ghost display issue, the half-baked software that the watch was released with, the ridiculously miserable battery life, the confusing LTE integration, especially for customers living in smaller regions, and the somewhat hectic software experience in terms of smartphone apps. Still, this is the best companion to your Android smartphone if you need smart features, LTE connectivity, sports tracking, and the Fitbit-like health tracking features. However, if battery life is a priority and you need a watch to rely on for a full week per charge, or you need blood pressure measuring or more enduro-like shape, there are a bunch of good alternatives. Since it is fair to compare against similar devices, this is more expensive than the current Galaxy Watch and doesn't provide blood pressure measuring, and I somehow tend to like Samsung's UI a little better. Compared to the TicWatch, battery life on the TicWatch is so much better, and the features seem to be better as well, but Wear OS 2.0 versus Wear OS 3.5, well, honestly, besides the slightly different style of the interface, I can't really say the new Wear OS brings significantly better features or optimizations towards better battery life. So that's the whole truth about the Google Pixel Watch Generation 1. I think it really took them too long time in order to develop their first wearable, and they should have been better prepared, and they should have presented something that is a lot better than what right now the Google Pixel Watch is capable of, because I do believe Google have the knowledge, the experience, and the resources to make it. In a matter of fact, this watch is going to be praised by many, criticized by others, and definitely is going to be an interesting topic to discuss throughout the next few months. So, therefore, I'm going to ask you, what do you think about the Google Pixel Watch? Is it a solid start, or you're like me, having expected more out of this body? Let me know, comments are down below the video. And as usual, thank you very much for watching this episode on the channel. It's been such a pleasure to present all this information that I've collected about Google Pixel Watch, and I truly hope it's been useful. If that's the case, give us a like, subscribe to the channel for more cool tech inspections, and I, Michael, can't wait to see you in our next episode. Bye!